Okay, I was going to talk a little bit about how we've been kneecapping ourselves in some ways. But actually, before I start on that, my baby likes to view the creek from every bridge that we pass. You want to see the other side? Can you see that? Yeah, barely. Okay, let's try the other side. We can see that a little better. Yeah. Right down there. And the other side again. This is normal for us on our walks, where you must see the creek. Boy, he is zoning hard on that. Okay, let's see if I can continue. Okay, how have we been kneecapping ourselves? Well, so I'm sure everyone has, some foundational ways of looking at life. And one of mine is that I think it's so funny. I go to actually say it, it starts to sound dumb. And I'm like, I don't know if that's it. But I was going to say it's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be enjoyable. What does that mean? Well, basically that our experience of life, our pleasure systems and the things that we get value from, the things that are good for us, the experience of those things should also be good. Now, I know there's a lot of ways that could be wrong. Okay, I get that. But in general, I think that our biology, our intuition, our instincts, the things that feel good, that give us joy or that pique our curiosity, that those things are actually good for us, and that's why they are that way to us. Things that, say taste good, well, they taste good because our body thinks that it is good. And it's trying to say, hey, do more of that, right? Now, things get a little complicated with our modern lifestyles because we have access to things that our biology was not necessarily anticipating. Thinking of like food items, like sure, candy tastes great, but if I eat it to satiety, it's probably not that great for me. But in a historical context, things tasted good that were good, right? When you got a buffalo, you're like, oh yeah, meat, great. Compared to the alternatives that might have been available at the time, probably not so great, right? Well, the other things, the buffalo was great. The other things, not so much. But let me do another one. Hunting, I'm going to assume that in kind of a historical context, hunting was primarily an activity done by men, right? And men have the type of, bodies and psychology that are suited to hunting. We want to go out with our close relatives and friends and go do something that is kind of dangerous, kind of thrilling, and hunt something, and then bring it back. And in that context, that activity is rewarded. It's valued by everyone in the society. And so everything kind of lines up there nicely, where if that group of men is out hunting all day, they don't come back to say their wives go, oh, why were you out hunting all day? Like it was all in alignment. Everyone's like, yeah, you got meat. And the people are like, yeah, I got meat. And they feel good. Everybody is happy, right? So I think of how we're getting it a little off right now is that we've got this weird scenario where we think that things that are good for us must feel bad in some way. Like you just, Good things don't come from feeling good. Good things come from like just discipline. Yeah. Got some doggies running. And I feel like it's unfortunate, I guess. And now I'm not saying that it's not a good idea to, buckle down and be disciplined. That's all wonderful. I love it. But I do think that it's hurting us to assume that in order to have good things, we have to just endure bad things. Because I think it's ignoring the way our bodies are set up. This bag of meat and all of the instincts that are kind of contained in it are trying to get us to do what is best for us. That's the whole thing. And so I talk about these different involuntary kind of automatic things that happen. Like, if you all of a sudden, feel an urge to cough and you cough. Well, that was for your benefit, right? Your body decided that for whatever reason, a cough was what you needed to do right then. And so you cough and then you move on and you solved a problem there in some way. And so also in my last video, I was talking about shaking, how like a dog or any other animal will shake and they get this big full body shake. And I think that serves an important function. I don't know what it is, but I don't think that animals do it for no reason at all. I think that there's something about that is, appropriate and needed on some level. Man, that's loud. I think they're going the other way. I'm not sure. Anyway, so the automatic processes of our body. That's interesting to me. Just that whole topic. Pandiculations, when you do a really big stretch and you kind of have this contraction on one side of your body and the stretch on the other at the same time, and then it releases. I think those are really great things. And we spend a lot of time and energy fighting these automatic urges. Now, I'm having an automatic urge right now, and that is to switch my baby to the other shoulder. Come on. Okay. All right, we're good. Now, where was I? So, the gist here is that if I stopped being so overriding on my instincts, if I stopped being so, self-conscious in my head, curtailing and moderating and modifying and all of these things, if I could turn that down, I think what would come out is more enjoyment, more joy, more spontaneity. Like, I think that's what spontaneity is. I mean, it's a statement that's so obvious it's, kind of dumb. But also, I gotta say it because you can't preconceive spontaneity. And so spontaneity is coming from this kind of special place where we don't have control. And to do the spoiler alert, I think we were scared into controlling ourselves. I think it happened in childhood. I think the parents and culture scared us all into thinking, oh, what I was naturally going to do is somehow bad. Parents don't want me to do that. So I better think about it and take manual control, Like, oh, I was just kind of letting this machine run itself, but now I have to take the wheel and force it to do something other than what it was going to do. Okay? And you take that and you multiply it by 1 million over the course of your entire life. And then you realize, like, wow, I am so locked up. I'm so constrained, and good things are not spontaneously flowing out of me anymore. And sometimes you encounter someone that still has that, and it's like they just do, and it's beautiful, it's wonderful, and the things they say are just kind of brilliant and crazy, and just it just comes out. You're like, wow, where did that come from? And the things they do are interesting and fun and surprising, and their life looks interesting. And I've really had to, it's been kind of a painful process, to be honest, to recognize in myself the gap between who I thought I was going to be and who I ended up as, and see it and be like, wow, I'm actually like, I'm just not, not bursting with the juice of life, that kind of thing. And just, wondering about it and thinking on it and working on it. And, I've done all this rather intentional, emotional work. And, I've been working with a men's coach, and I've been doing these things like ecstatic dance and experimenting a lot with cannabis and just like things that are expansive in their effect. They make me grow, and they break the shell a little bit. And so I get to see things differently, and then I get to note how I am changing, not so much without trying, but because I'm obviously trying, but well, I'm just coming from a birthday party for a friend, walking home, and I just noticed that I told kind of a funny little bit edgy story to a couple of people at the party, and it didn't go well. Like, it was kind of embarrassing in the end, but it was also kind of funny to me, and it came out in such a way that was, it was leaning towards spontaneous in a way that I am usually not. Where historically, like if I looked at the last, 10 years of my life, or 20, I just was not the kind of person that was spontaneous like that. Very much measured and calculated, and when I went to social events, I was usually quiet and alone, and there wasn't much surprise and fun happening as a result of me and my presence there. Okay? And it's because I was incredibly self-conscious, and still am, but less so. But to the point where I just really be spending the whole time at a social engagement thinking about myself, worrying about myself, wondering what other people thought about me, trying to do or say or, somehow create some scenario that made me look good. And I couldn't just be in the moment. I gotta do the switch again. Sorry, buddy. Not easy with one hand. Okay. Oh my God, look at that guy. What a cutie. This is the best, Hey, I'm sorry, but walking around with a baby, it's just so great. And sorry to rag on, most parents, but man, the whole stroller thing it's like it's just a big separation between you and the child, and you miss out on all these snuggles. Anyway, I am honestly, truly, genuinely grateful for getting to feel more free, getting away from the prison guard, that I became towards myself. I think the first step on that process for me was wanting to dance. It was like, God, why can't I let go and dance? Like, it just, the idea of letting go as a road to get to dance, even just that as a concept, would not have landed. I would have been like, well, I don't know how to dance, therefore I can't dance. Like, somebody would have to teach me how to dance, show me the moves, right? And if somebody ever did try, it was awful. It felt awful. It was awkward. I was always failing at it. It was just uncomfortable. I didn't like it. It was awful. And now, fast forward almost 10 years since when I, was kind of first starting to actually decide, I want to dance. Now, when I look at it, I'm like, oh my God. It was so simple. Nobody had to teach me anything, actually. It's a process of letting go. And weed. And weed helps you let go. I'm not gonna shy away from it. I actually think cannabis is amazing. Like, truly amazing, life-changing. If you use it intentionally as a way of opening up and shifting your perspective, and use it as an explorer would, with curiosity, and I love it. I'm gonna talk about it a lot more than I have, even because it's a tool that is it's needed. That's what it is. It's needed. And the way that I think the problem that many men in the West are experiencing, it's this issue of God, it's like we all need to rehab ourselves from childhood. A childhood that left a lot of people feeling locked up and small and unable to kind of run at a peak pace and just let it fly, like let life just burst out of them and go for it, really, send it. And instead it's like, I don't know, feeling small and locked up and self-conscious and feeling stuck. And for me, getting on some intentional cannabis use, like, hey, I'm gonna smoke tonight and I'm going to create a container for myself to explore dancing on my own terms with nobody around to watch me. Let's just explore. Like, if it was my mission to invent dancing, starting from scratch, which I basically was, had no skill whatsoever in dancing. If I had to, like if if I was the last man on earth and it was up to me to, keep dancing alive. I don't know why you would keep dancing alive if you're the last man on earth, but dream up some scenario where you have to invent dancing for yourself. Like, yeah, you're not trying to copy anybody. You're trying to listen in to something that is already inside of you. That's the secret. That's the like, oh, I said it. Like, that's it. It's already in there. In fact, if I were to talk with, 10 years ago me, I'd be like, all right, buddy, I got something to tell you. And it's that the thing you're terrified of is letting go and just letting your body do what it does naturally. That's what you're actually scared of. You're scared of letting go. And that's okay. There are reasons for that. You basically got scared of that in childhood. And now you need to recover. You need to relearn that it is not only safe to let go, but it's highly beneficial. It has a lot of carryover to other areas of your life where letting go provides so much, like so much magic. You know, like if you want more magic in your life, it's through the letting go door. It's not through the controlling your life more door. But when control is the only lever that you have to pull, or that you think that you have to pull, well, then you just pull it harder and harder. You're like, oh, I need more control. I need to plan more. I need more discipline. I need, better tactics to make my, XYZ plans come through. But 40-year-old Dylan talking to 30-year-old Dylan, or younger, I would say the thing you're looking for, even though you don't know it yet, is being able to let go. And you cannot let go. It's not possible to let go if you're stuck thinking about yourself. So, if you try dancing and you're thinking about yourself, nope, there you go. You know right off the bat that you're not in the right track, and you need to figure out a way to shut off the part of your brain that is so concerned with yourself. And again, I get it. I know why you're self-conscious. But there are some ways that you can work on that. And so what I would suggest to me 10 years ago, now let's go 20, to my 20-year-old self, here's what you're going to do. You're going to create a supremely safe space for yourself. Totally safe. In fact, I would recommend you go on a nice long hike and go out somewhere where you know for a fact that you cannot be seen or heard. It's not that hard. You live in Oregon. Go hiking. Bring yourself a portable music device, whatever happens to be available 20 years ago, and some headphones, and get a hold of some weed. Now, I definitely did not know how to, how to consistently dose, the appropriate amount of weed back then. I had no idea what I was doing. If I had smoked by 20, I probably did it poorly and just got too high and didn't, just sat there awkwardly. But I would say, hey, ease into it, smoke a little bit, put on that music, and see if you can move without trying. See if you can, just close your eyes, feel into the music, and see if you can get your body moving in a way that actually doesn't require you to move it. And explore that. It'll make more sense when you get high. Because when you get high, it'll shut off the part of your brain, or at least it'll kind of shut it. It'll turn it down, the part of your brain that is overriding the dance. Because your conscious brain there was actually holding you back from dancing. It's not that you didn't know how to dance, it's that you knew how to stop yourself from dancing. And it's going to take a little while, You're going to be working on it. But it's already there. It's already in you. And you don't have to learn it from somebody else. Ugh, get over here. It's all right there, and it's yours. And, it's so worth it. Because if you can let yourself go in dance, then you can let yourself go in so many other areas. Your level of fear goes down, your confidence goes up, your body feels better, you just kind of shake off stress, and it's amazing. And holy shnikes, it is beautiful here. Oh, this is the season. We got spring, flowers, sunshine, and it's amazing. So, to me 20 years ago, go get high and dance by yourself until you feel comfortable enough to do it with other people, and then have fun dancing with other people, because it's a ton of fun. It is a ton of fun. And it'll make you, not make you, but it'll give you access to other beautiful, fun things that you have been holding yourself back from in your fear of letting go. Okay, gonna wrap that up. Oh, it's too bad this guy's asleep. He's gonna miss the best creek crossing on this walk, which is this one. I like that view. It's a good one. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks, and have yourself a great whatever time of day this is when you're watching this. All right, bye-bye.